We got the Saints and the Panthers. What happened in this game?
Well, obviously, the big story is that Drew Brees missed his first game from injury in like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
He missed a game the year the Saints won the Super Bowl, but it was just benched to be rested. Like, other than that, he started every single game in his entire Saints career. So it's the first game he's missed because, of injury. Uh, Despite that, though, the Saints were very much in this game with Luke McCown, who played well. Um, I mean, honestly, he played better than Breeze did after he got injured in that game last week, because Breeze clearly, like, once he went probably 30 yards down the field, just didn't have it, just couldn't put the oomph
Mm-hmm.
to complete the pass that he needed to. But McCown did good, made pretty good decisions all the way until the very end of the game. And they went for a touchdown, and he threw an interception in the end zone, and that was it. That
Yeah,
was what wrapped it
it
up.
was
And
the
I thought that
game-winning
was a
pick.
right, and I thought it was a weird call, honestly. I mean, they've been this whole game. He had been he threw a few bombs down the field. One in particular that was a deep pass that connected, but he did a lot of screen passes and just those little short passes. 5 yards, 6 yards. He honestly was playing like the way Breeze ran the offense in his earlier years, 06, 07, 08, 09 is what it reminded me of. They're thinking first down every play instead of touchdown, which is honestly an intelligent way to run an offense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The Packers kind of did that the year they won the Super Bowl too. A lot of just second down conversions, and get 5 yards, and you'll keep moving, and it eats up the clock. But that's why it didn't make sense to me why they went for it when I think it was it second down maybe. I mean, wasn't really a reason to gun it. You still had a first down you could get to, I believe, on that play. And there was a lot of time left on the clock for Carolina to score. So even if they had gotten the touchdown, it kind of made more sense to eat more clock up before you go for the end zone. Just go for the end zone when you have to, I guess. I mean, everything's hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The Saints, they're 0-3. I feel like they're better than that. I mean, they haven't just got their ass beat in a game yet. That might change in Dallas. if maybe not. I mean, the Cowboys are vulnerable. They still played well. They lost though, but they still played well. If they underestimate the Saints, I think the Saints have the potential to still win here. Carolina, meanwhile, best defense in the NFC South. One of the better NFC defenses. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah. I think they probably do have the best defense in the NFC South, and not only that, I think what helped contribute to their win is Greg Olson has been really
Yeah.
stepping it up this year. Cam Newton
This
has,
game in particular, Greg Olson went off,
yeah, yeah,
and I don't even get like the Saints. The Saints secondary is not great, to put it nice. Uh, he was left open a lot of times. They ran this slant route that Greg Olson was put out on the right, and he cut across to the left, and he scored a touchdown on it that got called back. But it happened a couple of times. Like, why the hell is Greg Olson not covered? He
hmm
wasn't even covered. And I'm like, Benjamin's hurt. So Olson's definitely their number one target, right?
yeah.
The dude should be double teamed, if anything, not open. Shit. It's just, I don't know what's going on with that. That was just bizarre to me that you're gonna not cover Greg Olson.
I will say Cam Newton has consistently been looking good this year too.
Yeah,
Um, and so, I mean, not only do they have the best defense in the NFC South, however far that really goes, I
right.
guess. But it would help them contribute, I guess, what we said in the previous videos this week of, eventually who's going to try to take the division? Could it be Carolina? Could it be Atlanta? And granted, I think Atlanta has maybe a better offense, but you're playing a better defense, and
Right.
that the fact that they play each other twice is kind of awesome because you get to see
Right.
best of both ends of what potentially lay out. Now, when it comes down to the Saints are confusing me. I I kept
Yeah.
telling
Right.
a bunch of people that there's two teams to look out this year in particular. One was the Vikings and one was the Saints. I thought these were going to be two very underrated teams that had a lot of potential behind them. Vikings look like they've slowly, gotten their stuff together the
Sure.
past couple of weeks. Saints haven't reached it there. The fact that you're going to be a quarter of the season without a win, well, number one, you got to get this win for
Or
come that
only
week.
one win. You know,
Yeah,
best case scenario at this point is one win. So
uh, right, exactly. I mean, the fact that they're searching for a win. Granted, when you have two other teams, I mean, hell, even Tampa Bay, since they lost to
they
Tampa
beat
Bay.
they beat the Saints, right?
Right. The fact that they're so far behind in the division, I mean, they could probably have one of the toughest ladders to climb up from right now.
I agree. Carolina and Atlanta are both undefeated. So if you're gonna make a run to catch them, you kind of have to start now because it's early enough in the season that 3 games isn't, insurmountable theoretically when you've got, you know, you got 13 games left to play.
Yeah.
So, but as that goes on, if they don't close that gap, it's going to become more. I mean, who would have thought that the Saints would be the worst looking team in the NFC South?
Yeah.
Sickening, really. Honestly, I'm being very subdued right now, but it really pisses me the fuck off. Like, there's just no excuse in it. There's no excuse in it. Breeze being hurt isn't good. They just need to get their shit together and finish the game. They've been in all 3 games and blew it, which is kind of what happened last year. They blew a lot of close games, and those close games are the difference between success and failure,
Yeah.
mediocrity and playoff bound. And of them, and I don't know. Carolina looks like they're on their way to potentially make some waves, and the Saints look like they're on their way to an early draft pick.
That's kind of the thing is I remember last year you kind of joked about it's just like at this point like they might as well just keep losing so at least they get better draft picks type of thing. And
Yeah, I'm not quite there on this season because it's still early. I don't
yeah,
I don't like writing any team off at week 3 because that seems ridiculous. But if there's a team close to that, as big of a fan as I am, I mean, realistically, it's Tom. Like, just because you're playing Dallas, there's no excuse. I mean, Dallas is wounded. Yeah, they're good, but Dallas is as vulnerable as they're ever gonna be. Drew Brees or not,
yeah.
it's you win that game and maybe you can do something. So who knows?
Well, hopefully they can get their first win coming up.
Hopefully, you gotta think they're due for it at some point, right? So
Yeah, whenever
they,
that could
and
be.
and they do on paper at least have a relatively easy schedule. There's actually been some jokes going around that um, the Saints play the Titans, and that might be the game to go to because they might actually win.
I don't know because the
So,
Titans look good against the
right,
Colts, so maybe not.
right. So who knows? But it's just one of them things that every year a couple of teams that were hyped actually don't live up to it at all, and
Yeah,
unfortunately, at least from my perspective, that seems to be the Saints this year again. Actually, because they were hyped last year, even more so, really. Talking about Super Bowl contenders last year, and they didn't even make the playoffs. So, anyway, I guess that's good.
just makes me sad now.